In this video, we are going to compare a few experience maps which you can download from the Blackboard. I have a total of 6 of them, but not all of these M maps are made equal. So we're going to do a quick comparison. So you have the first one and the second one, the third one on the online car shopping experience map, the fourth one on how to save, the fifth one on a journey to buy or to subscribe to a broadband, and the sixth one on the Rail Europe experience map. Okay, so let us take a look at the first one. So this first one is probably a map about how a discussion happens or a sales meeting happens in a office environment, in a working environment. So as you can see, this experience map similarly happens over a period of context time. Okay, so it describes the interactions that happen throughout and is represented with some graphical elements. Okay, so the crucial thing about giving you a contrast and comparison among this journey or experience maps is that you know what is the standard or benchmark to work towards. So if you were to give me something like this, I will definitely see you again next semester. Sorry, no, this is a no-no. Because again, when we talk about experience maps, there are the minimum 3 key information that I'm looking at, which is your needs, interactions, and emotions. Clearly, there are some level of interactions that are being described or observed here, but they're not sufficient enough to explain the motivation, the needs behind these actions, less of the emotions as well. Next one is the experience map about the social gamer. Well, there are some greater details about the persona. So okay, so this is what I mentioned about the hybrid integrated persona slash experience map. So you can see the design of this journey map included the persona, which is a good thing because it kind of gives insights to what are the users facing, what are the needs and motivation that drives the user to perform some of the interactions across the experience or the journey. Okay, so if you were to give me something like this, I'm sorry, again, I will see you next semester because, like I said, there are some key information that is again missing out. Well, there are some questions embedded in this journey map, but it doesn't exactly translate or articulate the needs or the emotions behind. So, no. Okay, so let us go on to the next one. Okay, the online car shopping UX journey. Again, this is a hybrid experience map that combines both the persona and the experience map. Okay, well, this is quite a concise one. So it is talking about how a persona who is interested in shopping for a car goes through the process. What are the processes and interactions that the users go through? Again, it's going through different contexts, from getting aware of what are the platforms to look for cars, to considering which platform to use and what are the indicators to consider for the car, and looking at his preference, so on and so forth, to the purchase process and to the post-purchase process. Okay, so if you were to give me something like this, no, sorry. Okay, there are again key indicators that are missing out, which explains the needs, the summary of experience, the thinking process. And why is that important? Because let us just drill in on one of them for instance. Okay, So for example, at the point of time where the user is considering for which platform to use, what car to buy, um, so for example, okay, the user narrows down the search to 6. He carefully reads their reviews. Okay, well, what exactly is the user looking out for when he or she is reading the review? You see, those information are crucial to you as a designer or developer of the solution, because it will help you to highlight what are the important features. For example, you are building a form. You are building a search or filter form for your users, in this case, to look for the right car. So is the user concerned about the price, or is the user concerned about the horsepower, the fuel economy? You see, all these things are not articulated here. Maybe it is because the user research wasn't as intensively or extensively done, so the user experience map is not able to articulate all this. Well, either way, no, this is not something that I can accept. So moving on to the next one, your ways to save experience map. Okay, this is something that I can accept. I may accept. Okay, if you were to give me an experience map of this quality, you may pass. Okay, well, of course, experience map is just one component of your entire pipeline of all the things that you need to submit. Of course, if you just do this well alone, it's not going to help you. Then again, let us scrutinize a bit on this experiment. Similarly, the interactions are included. The thinking process, kind of, but it doesn't again shows the emotions behind. I appreciate that there's some level of summary written here, but again, it's not concise, it's not very conclusive. Okay, so let us move on to the next one. The Sarah's broadband provider journey. Okay, this is what I deem as an acceptable, or even to a certain extent quite a good journey map, because it has the key components that I'm looking out for: the thoughts and feelings, the questions behind, translating to the interactions. Okay, but what I find a little weak here is the articulation of the interactions. What did Sarah exactly do to look for the right broadband provider? Okay, and last but not least, this is the journey map I'm hoping that all of you can produce, or at least the level of quality, the level of details, so it articulate the context, the stages that the user goes through to buy a train ticket on the Rail Europe. So it is specifically spelling out, explicitly spelling out what the user does. Okay, goes online, ask questions, do some comparison, and call to make the booking, print out the booking, so on and so forth. Okay, and what are exactly the thought process that goes on behind every action, and also the in this experience, the emotions aspect. When the users are going through this particular phase, is he feeling frustrated, or is he actually feeling quite satisfied or pleasant? So that will also serve as a very good indicator on whether there is an issue with the existing process. Okay, then this will give you a good clue as to whether is this an area that you as the project manager or the solution designer should be looking out for. Okay, so this is ready for you to download on the Blackboard, so please use this as a reference. This is the level of details that I'm looking out for. Okay, and again, there is also something additional that this experience map, this journey map is providing for, which is the opportunities. In the opportunities segment here, you can basically look at this as a proposed list of features. So let's say, for example, the user specified that the platform here, for example, identified that, okay, highlighted the concern of whether the users will be able to see everything here, or if the users can afford the train ticket. So maybe the opportunities here can state, maybe at this very point of time, you might want to provide a cheaper alternative, a solutions recommendation, a price recommendation to other dates, so on and so forth. Okay, so this opportunity segment is something extra that is not typically seen in experience map, and these opportunities, if you can, I would like you to include in to suggest what are some of the specific features you would like to see in your own app design that can help overcome the problem that is experienced here.